The ocean is really, really hot and it's having devastating effects. When coral gets too hot, it gets stressed and turns white, known as bleaching. It might look pretty, but it means the coral's ill and decaying. And now, for the 4th time, there's been a global mass bleaching, according to the US National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. That's bad news, because coral sustains sea life, fishing, and on top of that, creates trillions of dollars of revenue every year. We've known climate change has been heating up the ocean for a while, because the gases emitted when we burn oil, coal, and gas are absorbed by the water. And last year, the coast of Florida was as warm as a hot tub. El Niño, a natural climate event, was part of the reason for such warm oceans too. Now we're seeing the global damage it's causing, and researchers say they're angry that it's allowed to happen. And the coral can recover from bleaching, but it needs several years.
All right, it is Earth Day, and today we honor and celebrate our remarkable planet. Earth Day is a reminder of the importance of environmental conservation and sustainability, encouraging us to come together and to take action for a healthier planet and a brighter future. So the National Conservation Trust Fund of Jamaica is a non-profit, non-governmental organization dedicated to securing sustainable funding for the effective management of protected areas in Jamaica.
Well, here to tell us more about upcoming projects that contribute to the conservation and sustainable development of Jamaica's natural resources and communities, we have manager at the National Conservation Trust Fund of Jamaica, Danella Aitchison. Welcome to the program, Danella.
Good morning.
First of all, I'm not too familiar with the NCTFJ. But what I like is the fact that you're not trying to do all the things. You're trying to pull people who want to do the things and give them the funding to do it. Where did this concept come from?
So actually, it was back in 2014 when the trust fund was established. It was really, the government of Jamaica was really looking at the sustainability of funding protected areas in Jamaica, and they realized that there are a significant gap in filling that funding for protected areas management. A lot of our protected areas are currently severely underfunded, which puts us to risk for climate change and, you know, biodiversity is just degrading. And so the trust fund plays a unique role in where we respond to, you know, funding management activities within our protected areas. So we are unique in the sense that we provide funding to non-government organizations, community-based organization, government organization, or even the private sector organization who are operating within or managing a protected area.
And there's so many people who complain, I guess because of ignorance, this is why we're having this conversation, that, boy, we want to do this and imagine we can't get any funding. We want to do that and imagine nobody is telling us yes, but you are looking actively for people who want to do projects.
Yes, and we also have, so we are also faced with the issue of community-based organization and different organization accessing funds, because there is requirement from donors, there are requirements from international organizations for us to really mobilize funding to Jamaica. The banking system, having a bank account. So one of the things that the trust fund does, we actually conduct a capacity gap assessment with all our grantees, and we respond to their needs. So we are not just funding them, we are positioning organizations and communities to be able to access funding, because funding from even the trust fund is very limited.
I really want to talk about the protected areas, because I don't think there are many people who understand that there are parts of Jamaica that you cannot develop, you cannot touch, and these are critically important areas. So I want us to get into that a bit, but I also want to look here at how you guys have supported projects that deal with the wetlands, projects that deal with restoration, projects that deal with even COVID-19 response. Walk me through why the protected areas matter and why these projects are important.
So the protected areas matter because we have critical ecosystems that are designated, whether by their cultural heritage, because we have the maroons and we have World Heritage Sites, and also they provide services that, you know, we depend on, our whole economy depend on our protected areas. All our hotels are within close proximity within protected areas. And the thing with Jamaica, we don't necessarily exclude from operating within protected areas, we promote sustainable use, and that in itself, if there is not proper management, effective management, you know, it's just based on demand, the drive, overfishing, you know, the development, removing of our mangroves. It's quite devastating if there is not effective management in place. And management, why we push management is because they are recurring activities, so they're long-term.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
you know, we have to sensitize ongoing, we have to patrol, we have to have management plans, and this feeds up to national development plans and, you know, global targets that we're looking at. And, you know, these projects are really community-owned. They're response by community. So they are responding to management plans and needs within the system. And, you know, it's sustainable because the communities have a vested interest
That's right. That's right.
in these projects and activities.
So, which leads us naturally into where I want to go next, which is that in order for you to really effect change, I mean, it can't be you in the organization trying to push it. You have to have change ambassadors throughout the society. Hence the initiative, the Changemaker initiative, which is being funded considerably. Tell us about it, and how can somebody become one of your change makers?
So as I mentioned, a big core reason why the trust fund came about was to really fill that funding gap and to be sustainable. So it's beyond sponsorship, because sponsorship is one-off, or when we get these projects from World Bank, when after 3 years they end, no funding, results just dissipate. So we are really there to fill this funding gap. And so we now are looking at you know, mobilizing resources in, you know, locally. And so we think that businesses in Jamaica, they now understand, or increasingly understand, that when you do good, when your business do good, you actually do better, and it's not just profit. And so the Changemaker initiative came about because it's a membership initiative that really looks at galvanizing a network of businesses in Jamaica that seek to effect positive environmental and developmental change through an annual membership fee. So we're looking at sustainable funding. So it's one source that we can sustainable fund or protected areas management activities and projects and programs within these protected areas. So we're looking at corporate Jamaica now and businesses to really get involved, because this is not, this is beyond government.
Yes,
It is individual, it's organizational, and it is national. And so, you know, it's an opportunity for businesses also to build their own environmental, social, and governance credibility and corporate social responsibility. Because if you're operating within an international context, or even in Jamaica, we are now looking at, you know, how accountable you are with your business and how you're operating within the environment, and what is your impact of operating in the environment.
Absolutely. Sounds great. Looking forward. How can people, once again, get in touch with you to become a change maker?
So we are currently on Instagram. Our handle is NCTFJA, or LinkedIn is NCTFJ, National Conservation Trust Fund of Jamaica. You can also email us at info@conservejamaica.org, and we will be having our call for proposals. So looking for project and management activities, you know, supporting these activities. Next month we have a call coming up, and you know, we just want to work with Jamaicans to make a positive change.
Thank you very much, Daniela Aitchison.
As individuals, we can do something.
We can.
To make a change.
We can do
we
something.
All can, yeah.
Changemaker, definitely. Daniela Aitchison has been our guest. She's the manager at the National Conservation Trust Fund of Jamaica. Stay with us.